everybody, welcome to Bones Collector, where Laura and I just got done playing Hickory Dickory. Hickory Dickory is a 2023 title. The designer's name is Sawyer West. I believe it's his first board game design, I'm not sure. And the art is by Sonia Muller, and the art is adorable. And this is an action selection with some end game bonuses, pick up and deliver contract fulfillment game. Quite a few things going on here. The winning condition is the most points, and there is a QR code on the back of your player aid that you can scan, and it will help you score. And it's helpful. Yeah, we used it. Yeah, because until you learn how to do it right, it's helpful.
We wanted to make sure we were doing it correctly.
Because the scoring's not wonky, but it is tricky. So when you're scoring your tiles. Let's talk about the production of the game. I always do that. The box is adequate, not extremely thick, but it's adequate. This insert holds everything nicely in place. When we took the shrink off and unpacked everything, it will fit in here very nicely. Nice job by Plaid Hat Games doing that. This is a 1 to 4 player game. I didn't mention that. So it has a solo variant, and you have to score 100 points to win. I don't know if you can do that. I'm gonna have to try that. Let's see. And this got a UV coating, or got UV spots on some of the designs on this box cover, and it looks really cool. I don't know if that's harmful in any way to the environment or whatever. I don't know. I read something about that, but very cute box cover. And components that you get in the game, the tiles that you're going to be using. I mean, these are nice acrylic tiles, like azulish. Your item tiles and your wild tiles, all made out of that nice acrylic stuff. And these are mouse cards that are just thin card stock, but they're, for what they do, you're just placing tiles on them is all you're doing with them. And these player aids are nice and thick. You got a couple of sideboards here that attach to the clock. They're just as thick as the game board. The game board is very nice. Just cute it's cute. This game is cute looking. And this board over here holds your quest cards. This board over here holds the favor cards and the market. Who's the spider? Itsy Bitsy Spider climbed up the water spout, I guess was the nursery rhyme. That's the market there, and holds 4 tiles and some wild tiles, and then your favor deck. The board has these plastic hands that you're going to have to take apart and put together when you play this game.
Every time.
Every time you play this game, yeah. The little mouse meeples are cute as the dickens. Have been nice, had stickers on them or screen printed, because you have to know which is which, and you get used to it after a while. But but you have to know which mouse is which, and some of them are the same size, and it just happens to be where their tail, the shape of their tail or something. So that can slow things down a little bit. Which mouse is that?
They're all pretty different once you get used to it.
Like the third play, we got pretty good at telling them apart. But it would have been nice if there was some way to, if they would have screen printed them, or I don't know. I'm just nitpicking here.
I'm hoping someone on Etsy will make us stickers.
Yeah. And you got this 10-sided die that moves the cat paws. Are they on? Yeah, they're on the board there. You got these action selection pieces that go on every hour of the clock, and they're thick cardboard, very nicely done. And the whole thing is very nicely done. Dual layered player boards when you're placing your tile, so that's pretty cool. This is the bottom of the clock, and when we played the game, we actually had it over to the side so that we could reach this. But now that I'm looking at it, we probably could have played it with it here. I think so.
Probably, yeah.
Probably could have.
And but it looks better like that.
It does take up a little table space, because you're going to have 4 mouse cards. Your hunt board is going to be there, and your player aid, and then any cards, favor cards that you're going to have are also going to be in your play area. Rule book is very good. Yeah, I read this rule book, and by the time I got done with it, I knew how to play it. Now, that all being said, the one thing about the production is I'm afraid that this mechanism, I don't know. It's very thick and nice, but I wish it's got a lock thing on it. You turn it and pull it up in order to release everything, and then when you put it back together, because you got to put a couple one piece up underneath the board, then you put everything else back on top, put it back in and turn it to lock it. And the mechanism that's used has a X-shaped thing on the bottom of that locking mechanism, and you have to have those tabs when you turn that. When you're taking this apart for the first time, it's tricky. You have to have those tabs lined up with the holes in the bottom of the piece that goes on the bottom of the board. Now, one of those tabs is bigger than the other, is longer than the other three, and so you have to have that long tab on that long hole in order for that thing to come apart. They don't give, this thing they give you to tell you how to take it apart don't tell you nothing. All right, this doesn't help you at all.
It tells you how to put it together, not take it apart.
But I mean, they needed to show. Plaid Hat needs to do a video on how to take that thing apart. And I'm thinking about putting a little line on the clock hand where the long tab is, so that, I don't know, you need some kind of orientation on that. I wish the mechanism had been screw-in with threads on a shaft and threads on the pieces below the. I think that would have worked a lot better. I see people breaking this mechanism when they take it out of the box and try to separate it. I had a tough time separating it, didn't we?
Because you didn't want to break it.
You didn't want to break it, so I mean, it took us like 10 minutes. Finally, I thought, well, I turned it over and looked down through the bottom of it, and I could see how that thing worked and how I had to line that thing up, and then I could pull it apart. Even then, I didn't know if I had it right, and it wouldn't come apart very easily. So I see people breaking this before they even play the game. And that's a shame, because it's well made, that just the design wasn't the best. And I don't know. I hate to find something bad about this game, because the game's fantastic. A spoiler alert. But these hands are very nice and chunky. But that particular mechanism, unlocking and unlocking, I wish they had done something else. I don't know. But it is what it is. Okay, and then you also get this big draw bag that you can get your hand on, and this thing's thick like canvas. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it is. And it's nice enough to get your hand in.
Yeah, would have been nice if it said Hickory Dickory on it, stitching.
I thought that too, but you know,
that would have been cool.
Wasn't a Kickstarter.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what? It wasn't a Kickstarter, was it?
No.
I mean, did they ever kickstart this game? Okay,
no,
so I mean,
right to retail.
Hey, right to retail. This game is absolutely published wonderfully. They did a nice job. Plaid Hat Games.
Plaid Hat usually does.
Yeah, this is really a nice job. You know, again, I hope those things, it doesn't break with use. You know, I don't know. You know, other than that, everything's perfect in this game as far as publishing, as far as production. This is a priority marker that you use to determine who goes first when you're on the inner part of the clock circle. And
there's little blockers in the hands for the number of players.
Yes, you get these little plastic blockers, and this one's for 2 players. There's a shorter one for 3 players that go right in the minute hand of the clock. And then, of course, I showed you this board, and I didn't mention these little fellas here are your scalers. And they're going to climb up this, like a grandfather clock. It's got 2 chains. I don't know what those are for, to wind the clock or something. But as you get to the top, you get points scored, and this thing moves to show you how many points you get. At the end of every round, you're going to go through a function called chirp. C-H-I-R-P, and you will memorize that because you have to do it. When this thing comes up to the top here at the end of the round, you're going to chirp. In other words, you're going to, the first thing is the C, that's cat die, so you're going to roll this twice. And this has a 6, so you're going to put a cat's paw on the number 6 and block that action. I'm going to roll it again. It's a number 1, so this will go on the number 1 action spot. So 2 actions have been covered up. In the first round, you've got all your actions. Subsequent rounds after that, you're going to have these cat's paws covering 2 of these action tiles. And man, it's a pain when one of them's covering a delivery. Oh my gosh, that drives you crazy. You will hate rolling this cat die because it's going to cover up something you guys really want to do. Then the H is to move the hour hand, because you start on 7, so you go to the top and you move the hour hand to the 8. So H, and then I is to move all these markers into the inside circle of the clock. All these little mousy meeples, these cute little mousy meeples. And we just finished playing, so I didn't want to. You can watch people playing this game. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to play everything. I'm just going through a few things. So you move all those mouse meeples to the inner circle. And then C-H-I-R is to replenish. So you're going to replenish the tiles in Itsy Bitsy Market. You're going to replenish the tiles around the clock. You're going to replenish the quest cards. And is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And then P is, oh yeah, priority marker. So you move that priority marker. It has arrows to show you where the priority marker moves. In a 2-player game, you're going to have 2 blockers, so we're only using 2 colors. This is going back and forth. But it just reminds you to do that. And because that's important too, that priority marker, because if you're on the inside of the circle,
there's 3 of them right there.
yeah, 3 of them right there. Whoever has priority gets to go first, whichever color. So, and that, man, yeah.
Sometimes that makes a big deal.
It does. As this game winds down, it goes pretty quick. We played it in under an hour. We've played it 3 times now, and it really ends quick because you are
It
trying.
ends quicker than you want it to.
Yeah. Okay. And I didn't tell you about these 3 tiles right here. These are relic tiles. There's only 3 of them in the game. They're in the bag. They're going to be drawn out randomly. You may play the whole game and never see them, but when you do see them, you can deliver them to Cuckoo. Is it Lord Cuckoo?
Lord Cuckoo.
Lord Cuckoo up here,
Lord Cuckoo.
and you get 5 points and a favor card, and they're the same chunky acrylic stuff.
Yeah, it's a scavenger hunt. That's what this game is. It's Lord Cuckoo's scavenger hunt.
Yeah, so I mean, the game itself is very, very fun. It is very deceivingly difficult.
Not for kids.
I'm telling you, yeah, yeah, this is not a kid's game. This is for gamers, and it's pretty. I mean, it was hard to wrap my head around.
How it worked.
Oh my gosh, it was difficult.
And we still, I don't think, have it
Wow.
down.
I mean, it's hard. It's a timing thing. So it reminded me, I told Lori, it reminds me of playing Zolkin and those gears, and you're watching those gears and trying to figure the timing out. Same thing here. Those moving hands that are going around, and you're picking up tiles. You have an option to pick these tiles up, and you're putting them on your mouse cards, and then you want to get them delivered, but there's only 2 spaces on the board to deliver, and you have to have that particular mouse that has the tiles on that delivery token, that action token, to deliver. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to do, and it hurts your head a little bit trying to figure out how to do that. When I expected something completely different, I thought this would be lighter than this, and because of its looks. But but it's wonderful. I mean, I'm glad it's the way it is. This is definitely a keeper for us. This is a really fun puzzle to try to work yourself through. You randomize these action tiles for the most part on this clock at the beginning of each game. There are, I think, 4 of them. 1, 6,
11 and 12, maybe? 11 and 12.
11 and 12. I think those 4 tiles have to go in those spots all the time. And the sunshine and moon tiles, which they have icons on the back, that's a sunshine tile. You shuffle those and put them out randomly so that the game's a little different each time. But wow! I mean, first time when we finished the first game, I looked at Laura, I said, wow, that was hard! My gosh, I don't even know if I know what's going on yet. And we finished the game.
And he won all 3 games, so he must have known something.
We were laughing so hard because we expected something completely different. And holy cow.
I expected it to be too easy and I wouldn't want to keep it. That's what I was afraid of. I would just like the cuteness and there wouldn't be any game there.
These are just 50-point tokens.
Those
once
are
you
cherries.
hit 50-point cherries. And once you hit 50, you grab one of those and shows you went around the track once. Wow. Yeah, and then this hunts board, okay, I'm going to show you. It's got certain item tiles that have to be put on those slots. And you want to do that. You want to find those, but you got to get them delivered to get them on here. And once you put them on here, you get 5 points for every row and column you complete, and it reminds you of that right here. Down here at the bottom of your hunts board, it tells you where to put 3 of your mouse meeples. The 4th one you have to unlock by going to this action space up here or getting a favor card to unlock that 4th, and you got to do that because that 4th mouse, if your opponents get a 4th mouse and you don't have one, they're going to have an advantage over you because it's just like any other game. We have a 4th worker, and you got to go get that. But you want to complete these boards the best you can, and I had every one of these filled but 3, and that was so. It was the 3rd game I played, and I was able to do that. I was very fortunate to do
Bragger.
so. Yeah, that was awesome. Oh my gosh. But I don't know, this game is amazing. I mean, this is a guy's first design. Our first board game, I think. Oh, I'm going to look it up real quick. So if you get on Board Game Geek, you can read about Sawyer West and how he became interested in gaming through his grandfather teaching him chess. What a great story. Chess, the greatest game of all time, right? The greatest board game ever made. But he decided to make this game, and this is his first game, and wow, if this is his first game, look out. I mean, oh my gosh, it is just an incredible group of mechanisms, and the timing of those hands that you're trying to put together in your mind by gathering these tiles, getting them on mouse boards, getting the ones you need to do your hunt board or these quest cards in addition to the hunt board, and then getting them together in groups and getting that particular mouse to the space you need to deliver it is really a challenge, you guys. It's a tough game. The first time I played, I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And second time I enjoyed it a little more, and it was still hard. And third time it's still hard, but I really, really liked it. And this is a game that's going to keep on giving. It's a tough puzzle. It's a fun puzzle because, again, these action tokens switching places means a lot. Well, the delivery tokens are always going to be on 6 and 11. But when a cat paw covers up one of those, it makes the game exponentially harder.
We had the cat paw cover up delivery a lot.
Yeah.
And the scamp. It covered up both of those spaces a lot.
Yeah. It can change. And then you, like I say, you can get some points from these chains on the bottom of the clock. And that's important. You can't ignore it. If one person comes over here and pays attention to this chain and nobody else does, they're going to do a lot better than everybody else. So you come over here and just score one time on it. You know, get one of these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scoring chances on there. Just get one of them, and you won't be left in the dust. But wow, yeah, this game is crazy because you're just trying that whole timing thing, just like in Zolkin. It's the timing mechanism of those clock hands as they go around the board that you're going to have to worry about. And you have to put your mouse meeples on these hands in order to get them to the delivery space. So you're torn between picking up a tile and doing the benefit that's on the action tile, or putting your mouse meeple on these hands to get it to a space to deliver, or pick up something that you really, really want and really need. Now you can trade if you happen to be on the same space, like you see these mouse meeples here. I have my scavenger and my spotter. I'm getting good. My scavenger and my spotter are on the same. I could trade tiles in between those two guys because they're on the same space right now. And you have to do that. That is such an important thing to understand and learn in this game, is how you can trade tiles in between these mouse cards if you happen to be on the same minute or hour number on the clock.
You could be on the hand, or the inner or the outer.
And there's also a card, a favor card, that allows you to trade
with any one mouse.
So I mean, these things are important to learn. You have to know the rules of this game to do well. There's not that many of them, but you have to know what they are.
And a couple of the little mice do something special too.
Oh yeah, there's some of these mouse meeples, but it says on your mouse card, like this spotter guy, when he draws out of the draw bag, he can draw +1 tile. So that's kind of handy. And then this, I forget his name.
Scooter. Scurrier.
The Scurrier character, when he comes off the minute hand, he can jump ahead 2 spaces, 1 or 2 spaces if you want. He doesn't have to jump off and do the action on the place where you're taking him off. He can choose between that one and 2 more clockwise around the clock. So that's handy to remember. You got to remember that. And then also these favor cards, some of them give you, and I use it to, it helped me a lot. It says 1 to 3 spaces. So when you're taking one of your mouse meeples off that minute hand, you can move ahead 1 to 3 spaces. And I needed to do that to get a tile that I needed to fill up a row on my board and get me 5 points. 5 points is huge in this game. So, oh my gosh, yeah. There's I'm not going to tell you everything about the game. I just wanted to give you a brief understanding of how things are working and what I thought of the game. If you watch my videos, you know the types of games that I like. And this game, do not play it once or twice and call it a day on this game. This game is very good, and you have to play it. I can't wait to play it again. As soon as we're done with this video, we're going to set up and play it again. I like it a lot. It's a work in progress. So, because you've got to learn that the timing of this game and how to best move those mouse meeples from the inner circle to the outer circle, off the minute hand to the outer circle, when to do those things so that you have time. Because when this hour hand gets to the 11, that is the last round, you guys, when it gets to the 11. So you have to, if you have any tiles on your mouse cards at all, you're going to have to deliver them in this round, which means you're going to have mouse meeples on that minute hand and get them to the delivery spaces. And sometimes, like if one of those delivery spaces is covered up, you're in trouble, man. You're everybody's gonna be fighting over that one delivery space. And you can do that. I mean, you can do those actions as many times as you want. The problem is you can only fit so many mouse meeples on here. So if your opponents have 2 mouse cards they want to deliver, you have 2, and if you're playing a 3-player, they got 2. There's only room for so many mice meeples on here. In a 2-player game, there's only room for 2 in some instances.
If the big one's on there.
Yeah, if the big one's on, if the scavenger's on there, and then you're just going to be forcing each other off of there, so you better be prepared for that. And that's part of the strategy of this game. And one thing is, when you get forced off of there, you can choose a space behind if you want.
Yeah.
When your mouse meeple's forced off of there, you don't have to do the one where it's forced off. You can choose the one behind if you wish. That's just something else you need to know, because that can be huge. This game, you need to know every little rule, every little intricate thing that goes on here. There's not a lot of rules.
You need all the help you can get.
Yeah, but it's so tight that you need to remember all that stuff so that you can take advantage of things as they happen. That is Hickory Dickory. That's my explanation of Hickory Dickory. Oh yeah, this game is fantastic.
Well, there's people online that do the rules too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of people. I think Ruel or
Watch It Play
does it with Rod, or Watch It Play. Rodney does it. Talks about the game, shows you how to play it, and I didn't want to bother doing that. I just was fascinated with it. Yeah, this is a great game. I mean,
not what we expected
for a bunch of little mice. Hey, it's funny. We just did another mouse game, Rat Trap. What was it?
First rat.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess mice are going to be the
rodents.
Rodent. It's going to be the rodent year. Maybe that's a Chinese
year of the rat.
Year of the rat, or year of the rodent. So this is an adorable game, and it's adorable art. Sawyer West, again, thank you, Sawyer, for an absolutely phenomenal game design. That isn't too much, that isn't too little. It's just right for us. It's very, very nice. Again, it gives you that Zulkin feel of timing those gears of when you're going to get on and get off. And I couldn't think of why that felt so familiar, but that's what it was. And I really enjoyed it. You know, I moved Zulkin on. It's one of the most magnificent mechanisms in board gaming, those gears. But the theming, and we just never picked it. When, we have nights where we say, hey, what do you want to play? You pick. And nobody would ever pick Zulkins. But you know what? We'll pick this.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it's just a neat theme for a game. And it looks kind of childish, but absolutely, there's a lot of challenge here, folks. It says 10 and up on the box, I think, and it'd have to be one smart 10-year-old to pick this game up. When I was 10,
maybe they'll do better than we did.
When I was 10, I was just riding my bike and drooling still. But a 10-year-old that can play this game would really have to be on the ball. But hey, it's a wonderful game. I want to tell you guys about it and get this video out to you as soon as possible. 2023, wow. Who can imagine? Who thought? I mean, we're a month through the year already. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Hey, that's it. That's Hickory Dickory, a wonderful board game. I wanted to tell you about it today. Keep on board gaming. It's the best hobby on the doggone planet because of Sawyer West and games like Hickory Dickory. I love every one of you. See you next time on The Bones Collector. Bye-bye.